government, policies, education, economy, social development, amongst others.
We are happy to announce today that both the federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage.
Join
AYODEJI, AJISOPE
and
ADEDAMOLA LAFFY
on from the dailies every weekday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Solutions 93.9 FM as they dive into the headlines with in-depth analysis and feedback from you on different stories from the national dailies. Start your day by gaining fresh perspectives, uncovering the story behind the story, and join the conversation. Because your voice matters. From the dailies, the conversation never stops.
All right, it's the 12th day in the month of November 2024. My name is ADEDAMOLA LAFFY. It's another beautiful Tuesday morning in a big and beautiful city of Ibadan. The program is From the Dailies, the program where we get to take you through the trending stories in some of today's national dailies. And you know how we do it every Tuesday morning like this. It's only run for 30 minutes or thereabout, the edition for today. And of course, I have Comrade AYODEJI AJISOPE standing by virtually. A beautiful morning to you, Comrade AYODEJI AJISOPE.
Yes, good morning to you, my dear comrade brother, and of course our listeners and viewers wherever they may be located. Good morning.
All right, let's kick the ball rolling now. I mean, yesterday on the program, we discussed extensively about the tussle or the disagreement between the independent marketers and the Dangote refinery and the role that NNPCL is been playing in the entire issue. But this morning, there seems to be good news on the papers this morning, because looking at the account of the Punch newspaper, I have this one saying that petrol pump price may drop as Dangote marketers sign deal. Marketers to begin loading at refinery. NNPCL ends 24 trillion naira annual fuel import, patronizes Dangote. Now, with this story now, do we say that disagreement has been put to rest now?
Maybe we should not call it disagreement. You see, the entry of Dangote Industries, this largest single train refinery in the world, has changed the dynamics. Of the market. Don't forget, before now, it was NNPC that was the sole importer of PMS. The deregulation, we are now operating a fully deregulated market. You notice that NNPC has gone quiet in this past few days.
Yes.
NNPC tried to play clear and regulator.
Umpire at the same time.
An umpire. I think the thing snowballed and got them burnt and exposed them. You understand?
Yes.
They have gone quiet in the past few days. Now, this is Ipman talking. Who are the stakeholders? There is Ipman. There is Dapman. Then there is Petron. Yesterday, Petron said that they are, I spoke with the National Public Executive. He said they're going to be importing products, PMS and other products. And that was what Dangote cried about, that there will be blending, importing of low quality products and blending in Nigeria. Of course, there is a regulator that can always check that. They're also accused of the regulator of not having laboratories Well, the regulator did not say anything. You recall that the regulator entered into a controversy with them by saying that we did not have, they only have provisional licenses, and it got, controversial. So they did not respond to what Dangote said. What you see, now it is clear that the market forces are taking over. We are now in a fully deregulated scenario. Some stakeholders are saying they're going to do deal with Dangote. Of course, they will not do deal with Dangote if the pricing is not competitive. Also note that they did not disclose the price. But a time will come that people will be demanding. They're selling it at so. How much is Dangote selling it to you? Dangote was claiming that it was selling an international market price. Don't forget also that there was a committee by the federal government that said Dangote should get 385,000 barrels per day from NMPC. You understand? Are they doing it? And at what exchange rates are they giving them? And I think naturally by the market forces at play, I guess that arrangement has broken up. They don't need to announce it. That is why we don't have an NPC saying, we are going to be, you deposit money to NMPC. NMPC tells you, as a marketer, to go and collect from Dangote. For God's sake, NMPC is a player too. So I think the market forces have taken over.
All right, now,
I guess
with this development,
by December, by Christmas, in fact, I have noticed a drop. I bought fuel yesterday, and I know I used to buy it 1,200 at that location. I bought it yesterday night, 7:15 p.m. at 1,005. The veteran people are promising that they will crash it to 750. And if those other people that came to agreement with Dangote did not get competitive pricing, they will not do it.
I was actually going to ask you that with this development, should Nigerians expect a little drop in the price of the pump price of petrol?
I like the way you qualified it.
A little drop.
So that we will not just raise
our hopes and expectations.
Hopes were raised. Dangote was going to crash the price. Of course, events overtook that hope, and those hopes were dashed. So I guess I want to believe with the forces at play now. Except of course an interference again by NMPC specifically, who is also a player. Look, NMPC has gone quiet. NMPC will likely go the way of NITEL. NITEL had infrastructure nationwide. NITEL was handed a license for no naira or US dollar. Others bought it 285. What happened to NITEL? You recall that Guardian did a report. NMPC has 21 subsidiaries, only 7 viable. Now they are not even producing products. So some of the subsidiaries are idle. Their refineries are idle. You understand? So NMPC's underbelly will be exposed. NMPC has a maze. You have those refineries, they have MDs. They report to Executive Vice President. Executive Vice President reports to the GMD. The GMD reports to the board. The board reports to the minister. The minister reports to the president. Who runs business like that? Who runs a business like that? That's a crazy business model. That's a government business model. And I've always told you, don't probe an MPC. Don't fire Kyari. Put an MPC in the stock market.
All right, let's move away from that. It's 9:40 on Solutions 93.9 FM. To another issue now. Also yesterday we spoke about the comment coming from the presidency to Atiku Abubakar, saying that Atiku is only being envious of the seat of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But, Atiku seems to be playing a one-man show these days. I mean, talking about criticizing the policies of the present administration. Of course, Atiku has responded to what the presidency said yesterday, and he's saying now that I am not jealous of Tinubu inflicting pains on Nigerians. Atiku replies, presidency. That is as put by the Nigerian Tribune. And I think the Vanguard newspaper has another caption to that. Okay, I am not jealous. Tinubu's policies killing Nigerians. Atiku insists. Now, I'm asking you a question this morning, comrade. Are the policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu killing Nigerians, as put by Atiku?
Let us just step out of the studio and onto the streets.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You do that right after. I mean, opinion is unanimous about that. The poor, the not so rich, you know, opinion is unanimous about that. But don't forget that some people, while we watched and looked, some people ate Nigeria's tomorrow yesterday. So, you know, there is no running away from it. When it happens like that, there will be a price to pay.
There will be consequences.
There will be consequences. And maybe, just like Buhari did for 8 years, pretended as if all was well. They did 55 trillion naira ways and means, which simply means printing more money.
More money into
and
circulation.
what were they using the ways and means to do? They were using it not for productive engagements or productive activities. They were using it for consumption. And they were busy borrowing. Borrow to build rail. I was reading about comparison of cost of rail line in Ghana and Nigeria. Double the price. Lagos Ibadan. You take the rail line through Abeokuta. I'm going to Lagos. Will I do that? You do Kano to Maradi. And all these borrowings. You understand?
You know, comrade, because of our time, Nigerians are already aware of the wrongdoings of the past administrations.
There is pain, there is hunger, there is anguish, there is pain in the life.
Nigerians are aware. We are all aware. Yeah.
Of our tomorrow
and
today.
even this present administration has told us that the consequences of what had been done in the past is what we are facing at the moment. But the question Nigerians keep asking is, for how long do we have to endure? Because
that is the big question.
Because still on the front page, I mean, the last time,
what are the challenges that we have to deal with?
The last time the president addressed the nation, he said that he's aware of the hardship.
I saw the president speak yesterday.
And
that tomorrow will be better.
And he even said
tomorrow will be better.
That's what I'm coming to. He even said then that he wished there were other alternatives that he could use, but there are none. So at the moment, we just have to go through this pain.
You see, it's just like in the days of Babangida, and the then secretary of the state of the government was saying there is no alternative to SAP, and somebody said, how can you say there is no alternative to SAP? Even there is an alternative to the death. It is life. And there is an alternative to life.
Let me read this headline on the front page of Vanguard now. Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu to Nigerians. Times are hard, but things will get better. The $1 million question now is, when will things get better?
Is it hard for them?
Are you asking me?
Is it looking like it is hard for them? Have they adjusted according to their open lifestyle?
But they are admitting the fact. They are admitting the fact now that they know that the times are hard. People are going through hard times.
Is it reflecting in their lifestyles and conduct, private and public? Is it? That is the leadership you provide. When Obasanjo came, Nigerian government were riding around, our officials were riding Mercedes-Benz way back in the 70s. Official car was Mercedes. But when Obasanjo said it was fine, and it was not as if things were hard. There were only signs that things will even get tough. And they introduced, what did they call Obasanjo call it then? Obasanjo called it a name. You know? And they came down from Mercedes, for God's sake. From Mercedes to Peugeot 504. And of course, Obasanjo, a military head of state that succeeded an assassinated military leader, was riding around in a Peugeot 504 that, of course, had no provision for bulletproof. You understand? That is leadership. sacrificial leadership. People must see. I mean, you cannot be preaching, you cannot be saying, do as I say. Do as I say. And you are doing something different. And people are seeing you. You are riding around in motorcades, you are riding around in expensive, very expensive vehicles. You don't have one, you don't have two, you don't have three. I mean, in the days of Lam Adesina, 4 years in office, used the vehicle, a Land Cruiser that is a middle pass, or Kona, or Yakiri, or Kompolo, or Yakiri, used. That was what he used for 4 years.
You know, I got a comment now. Ajagbe Olorun Toyin saying that times are hard indeed, but your wife recently donated £1 billion to a university for horticulture. Ahead. So just, I think Ajagbe Olorun Toyin is just trying to buttress what you're saying, that, okay, the president has said times are hard, truly, but are times hard for them? Are they feeling what Nigerians are feeling?
And if it is hard, is it reflecting? Do the people see it? You understand? You people will see it in the days of Buhari. You know, you remember a few times they showed his wife the kind of bag she carries and the cost. They showed Buhari's shoes and some of his wristwatches, and their cost in US dollars and pound sterling. I think that does not reflect.
Okay. There is another story on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, which is not so good, especially for the manufacturers. Value of unsold goods rises 357.6% to 1.24 trillion naira. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. I mean, what they're saying in essence here is the fact that the goods that they have produced are not being sold. And one of the writers says it is a recipe for more business closures, higher unemployment, others, NBCA. What do you make out of that?
And you know the compounding factor there. Those unsold stock,
Yes.
They are incurring cost too.
Of course. Of
the
course.
The fact that you have it in storage, you understand? That itself is incurring additional cost.
Because Nigerians don't seem to have the purchasing power anymore. Not enough.
They don't have the purchasing power. People are living day by day.
From hand to mouth now.
The one who used to call pay as you go, Abi. People are living pay as you go. You know, and these are people that used to live in bulk purchase. But now,
and one of the writers is saying that manufacturers spend 238.3 billion naira on alternative energy sources. Still talking about the manufacturers, they have to pay more.
It is true. I can tell you, even in Ibadan here, some companies that I know, they are no longer on Disco's grid. If they are, the Discos are the backup for years now. The big industries in Ibadan, they have switched, and I mean for years. Minimum of 3, 4, 5, 6 years. They switched to CNG at huge cost, enormous cost. But as a businessman, when you know your plan, strategic planning,
definitely.
You know, if we continue like this, where will it lead us? And look at what bills the discos are giving them without delivering power. You understand? So they did their strategic thinking and planning. I said, okay, at huge price, but let us switch over. But now, even their production is being hampered by the purchasing power of the Nigerians that we're supposed to pick up their product.
Okay.
So,
all right, now
that also affects, planning.
Now, because you mentioned the huge bill IBEDC is billing some of these companies in Ibadan, that brings me to this story on UCH. You know, yesterday we talked about UCH being disconnected by IBEDC.
Not the first time.
Not the first time. So it was put again, disconnected again. But there is this a follow-up to that story. Outage. UCH needs urgent help. Joiso, chairman, tells FG. And I'd like to read like the first 2 or 3 paragraphs now. The chairman of the Joint Health Sector Unions, Joiso, at the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, Mr. Oladayo Olabampe, has appealed to the federal government to come to the institution's aid. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that there has not been light at UCH since October 26, when the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBEDC, disconnected the hospital's electricity supply due to accumulated debts. Olabampe, who decried the bill from IBEDC as alarming and outrageous for a hospital such as UCH, said the bill is killing. Okay, let me put it again. The bill is killing. IBEDC put UCH on band A, but we can't afford the bill of band A. And this is why the hospital management told the company to remove UCH from band A and put it in band B. And B, okay, band B, but IBEDC did not. Okay, now let me just stop there. So what do you make out of that?
Look, I don't like people just putting up a position without putting it in the right perspective. They put UCH on band
A.
They put we are saying you should put us on band
B.
What? Look, there are conditions attached to each band. Band B says you must have I think 12 or 16 hours of power minimum consecutively for 3 months, and then for you to be migrated to band A, it guarantees 20 hours of power consecutively for 3 months.
But UCH said they can't afford to be put on band A.
Wait, it's not a matter of being able to afford.
Okay.
It's a matter of, is the disco fulfilling even the 16 hours of band B?
That is another issue.
All you need to do is take the people in your technical department. That is what I am doing for our neighborhood. You draw a chart, power resource, power outage, power resource, power outage. You do that every day. You assign somebody to do that. Power resource, power outage. You do that for a period of 3 months and go and present it. If they have not provided you with 12 to 16 hours per day, you should not be on band A. It is not an issue of begging. Then take legal action against them. Look, I have seen people who have done it. I am preparing my neighborhood association and others
to do the same.
People should stop begging. People should stop. How can people in UCH be begging when there are conditions attached? As the disco fulfill that, I know a lawyer that they just write. They will come running around. The discos are legal entities now. They should do the need to stop begging. Is there a provision of 16 hours, not to talk of minimum of 20 hours consecutively for 3 months? You understand? We don't like processes. We talk about processes. We don't like processes, but we like the end result. How do you get end result without processes? Come on, that's an academic community, and backed by administrators, backed by an administrative machinery with the director of administration. For God's sake, come on. I mean, that's sounding pedestrian.
And still talking about power, there's a special report on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this Tuesday morning saying that healthcare on life support as hospitals buckle under power crisis. And there is something they wrote there. They said hospitals spend over 60 million naira monthly on diesel transfer costs to patients rather. Yeah. That's on the front page. That's a special report on this this hospitals having crisis with power supply.
I mean, doesn't that validate the UCH issue? Look, I think about 3 or 4 months ago, somebody called me from UCH. She was in UCH to have a baby, and she was in the maternity ward. And she called me. I had, rumblings in the background, and she put the phone on speaker and started giving it to others to talk. For 10 days, there's been no power. For 10 days, there's been no water. Maternity. scheduled surgeries have had to be cancelled.
I mean,
and all of that.
the rider, look at the rider on the front page of The Guardian. Under that caption, staff resort to phone flashlights amid surgery delays, disrupted
Yes.
clinic schedules.
Yes, and I also shared that regularly, at least once in the past 6 weeks, a cousin of mine, a scheduled 21-day cycle chemotherapy. And when she got to the hospital, for her to just spend 3 days or nights, she spent 10 nights because there was no power to do the basic test that she had to undergo before she had to undergo the chemotherapy treatment. Now, extra cost of spending 10 days. And then imagine UCH. And they are paying, there
Yes.
was a time they're paying for, they call it power or something. Or, they call it utility now.
Yeah, it's
So
written
what
here
they
now.
power before.
The hospitals transfer cost to patients now.
But what do you expect? What do you expect? You see visionary leadership and strategic thinking. You see the heads of federal ministries, departments, and agencies. They are sitting on their backside. This handout transaction. You understand? This handout transaction. Come and collect. They get capital grant. They get salaries paid and all of that. Look, I'm not bold to say that even if you want to pay,
Comrade, let's wrap up in 60 seconds now. 60
if
seconds.
you want to pay for money usage now, they will say go and pay. If you have 100,000, they go and pay. Because of TSA, they say go and pay 60,000 into the account, and they collect cash. You understand? What kind of transaction is that? TSA, IPPIS, and all sorts of that. Look, we need leadership in those institutions now that have entrepreneurial skills.
Okay.
It goes beyond mere administration.
All right.
Mere administration.
All right.
Visionary. It has to be a prerequisite for employment now to lead those institutions.
All right, Comrade, thank you very much. Our time is fast spent. Hopefully, we'll have more time to talk about this and some other issues tomorrow morning on the program.
By God's grace.
All right, wishing you a very wonderful day, sir.
And you too, brother.
All right. That's the wrap for the day. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for a fresh edition from the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is Adedamala LAFFY. Up next is Iweda with the Great Babs. Stay tuned to your number one radio dial, Solutions 93.9 FM.
Yeah, we can make it work. You Chicken can make it work every time. So we better get up, stand up for your rights. Or someone would say we're coming in from the cold. Or another one would say the sun is shining and the weather is sweet. And someone would say, is this love? And everyone would say everything. Let's move it.